You said he even tried to work sick, uh, Clark, in his last few days. And you mentioned the turning point being sort of the fair. Was he noticeably absent at the fair? Why did you bring that up? That was his favorite post, perhaps.
Certainly, certainly his favorite post was working at the Vigo County Fair, and he always wanted to work the front gate because that's where the people were, and he could always interact with the people. And he was noticeably absent this year. We had people ask, "Where's Bob? You know, where's Bob?" And about a week or so before the fair, he had fallen sick, and they were treating him for just common flu symptoms, and which led to what they thought was pneumonia. And in a very short amount of time, they realized that he had cancer, and it was a very, very fast-spreading cancer. And none of us had any idea that it would be this fast.
That's either the way to go, or it's a horrible, it's one of those situations where do you want to die suddenly or do you want it long and drawn out?
Yeah.
There are pros and cons.
Yeah, we talked. I mean, we've all reflected this week, every day since, and you as you reflect on life, you think, is this the way to go? I have older parents, and you stop and think about quality of life when you're in your 80s or beyond, and I got to say that it's too young to die. 51, it's too young to die.
Now, we're not attributing this, but he did kind of have some wishes that you bring it up, right, about the tobacco use? I mean, we don't know that this is a contributing cause to cancer.
I certainly wouldn't want to say that, because, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a coroner, and, I haven't seen the medical records and those kind of things. But Bob was a social tobacco user, and he had actually quit for several years, and then I don't know, something happened in life, and he started smoking again. And a lot of people who use tobacco say that it helps with stress, and certainly law enforcement is a stressful profession, and but he had been smoking in the later years of his life again. And I stopped up to visit him at the hospital and asked him if there was anything that I could do. And this is before we knew that he had a very short amount of time to live. In fact, they hadn't really even done the testing, and they hadn't determined at that time how far it had spread. Bob had a way of pausing his sentences and pausing his thoughts. And I don't know, maybe to some people it came off as sort of a country boy, or but I tell you, I think that he knew exactly what he was saying, and I think that was his way of getting your attention, is that long Bob Bartlett pause. And he said, I asked him, I said, is there anything that I can do? And he said, just tell him to stop smoking and stop chewing. So I think, that's not me preaching to the masses. Or people are free to do whatever it is they so choose to do. But that's what Bob Bartlett asked for. And that's what he asked me to tell people.